Welcome back, guys, to another video. And today we will be getting into the valley. And I don't know, what is the big deal with someone who drink on a vacation or a trip for a cast and they are basically in the bedroom sleeping it off? Like, this whole episode to me was just totally bullshit. It's like these ladies really have nothing going on this season, and they're like, let's pick at Nia because she may be the weakest link, and it may be something that we can actually dive right into. And I feel so sorry for Nia because these ladies are not your friends. They are not your friends. They spoke about you when you left the table, and they did it at the same time when they were supposedly staging this dinner to apologize to you, and the minute that you left they did the same thing again. And Brittany, you are projecting. I cannot understand for the life of me why you are so focused on someone being real. Focus on your own storyline. Don't you have a lot going on for yourself? Like, why are we so concerned about Nia not saying that Danny was drunk? Like, so what if she wants to protect her husband? So what if she does not want to state that he was drunk? Well, how does that affect you? What does that have to do with you? Like, we all know Jax is a fuck up from the get go. You knew this. You turned around and still married the fuck up. You end up having a child with the fuck up. And then you're still upset that the fuck up is fucking up. And then you want to be upset at Nia for basically entertaining this situation. I don't understand what the big deal is. So we did start back the episode from last week, and I think we saw where Jasmine again and Brittany, who are clearly drunk, going at Nia to say that she pretty much is defending Danny. Why was it when they asked her what Danny was up to, she was just saying that he was tired from work and he was sleeping it off? Why didn't she say he was drunk? We all know he was drinking. So if you guys all knew he was drinking, why the fuck do you guys need to know what the hell he was doing and why is he sleeping it off? Like, don't people who drink tend to sometimes sleep things off? Why is this such a big deal? I could not understand for the life of me why these ladies are acting as if he is strung out on drugs over there and it needs to be addressed because the way he behaved. And Jasmine, the whole episode, I used to like you in season one, but this episode made me dislike you now. And I thought the only person I would be disliking this season would be Janet. And I think I dislike Jasmine now because your way of trying to piggyback off of Britney and trying to make it seem like you're defending or sticking up for Britney when you're just still upset that he was clearly drunk in some bar that we have no privy footage for. Because I guess this was off season. He was a little bit too drunk. He touched your leg to say, go get daddy a drink. And if I have to hear that story one more time in another episode to get daddy a drink, then turn around and touched your girlfriend ass. If you guys had a conversation and apologize about it, why is it still a story? Why are we still talking about this on episode? I don't even know what episode we're at right at this point, but why is this still being discussed? Why have you not moved on from this situation? Why? Just why? Why is it still a lingering thing in your brain? Like, maybe you need to seek therapy for why you're still harboring this thing. Unless there's more to the story that we are, the audience, are not privy to, where he tends to get way more wasted or something. But I could not for the life of me see why this is such a big deal and why you ladies are making such a big deal out of nothing. I could not understand it. It was just weird. Now, I did enjoy this episode again, and I realized while watching this episode that I realized is it me, but I do not mix Jax at no point throughout this episodes that he's not on it. Like, when I saw the preview for next week's episode, I was like, oh yeah, you're part of the cast. But the episode to me, despite the annoyances of it, I was like, I don't miss Jax. I don't say where's Jax. I don't say we need Jax in this moment to fuck shit up or make things more entertaining. I did not care for it. And if this is going to be a reoccurring thing, because last season we got Jax making Britney seem like an alcoholic and she needs help and whatever. Now this season we don't necessarily have Jax much. No, we're going to Danny and then bringing up Danny and necessarily need all of that basically if we're going to make this thing a thing where everything is all about the drinking of it all when it comes on to Danny. It's not necessary, and I'm hoping that this is just the last we're going to hear about this situation because it made no point. Anyways, we got into the next scene, which we have where we had Kristen and Luke. They are renting a house. They are not ready to purchase a house, but remember they were staying in some apartments, and if they want to try to have a child, it would be best if they can get something that's a bit bigger that can actually house the child. There's a room for the child, plus obviously so she wanted a room as well for guests. So we saw that, and then we obviously had Jasmine who came over. Now feeling remorseful, I guess she has sobered up, and she pretty much was apologizing for her behavior, then basically having a conversation with Kristen about apologizing for how she carried herself when it came on to the whole attacking Nia of it all. Because at the end of the day, Nia is like the most mellow, nonchalant, zen person in the group. And for it to be where these ladies ganged up on her, I see where Jasmine now sobered up, realized that she was being a mean girl, and now she wants to apologize for the behavior that she was displaying. And yeah, it was something that we the audience could see from the get-go, like this argument that they were having at the lake house wherever they were at in Santa Barbara was totally unnecessary, and clearly she herself sees that it was totally unnecessary, and she now feels like she wants to apologize to Nia because it was out of. And I like the fact that Kristen and Luke also in the same scenario were letting her know that he drank and he slept stuff. Like, what's the big deal? Because I am saying the same thing. Like, what is the big deal? So why are we making it a bigger deal than it is? Is as I said, Jasmine, I don't know what your storyline is. Last season, it was that your girlfriend was on some other network, so she really couldn't film. So okay, we kind of gave you a pass, but you were tolerable in that season. This season, you're supposed to have your girlfriend now with you. You're supposed to be main cast. I still don't know what your storyline is. And if your storyline is going to be talking about what allegedly happened when the cameras were down with Danny, and that's what you're going to make and milk it for the entire season, like it's not sticking. It's not making any sense. And I think that's something you probably need to go back to the drawing board about because it's boring. And I like the idea. And then the thing is that she's also though playing Danny's job to say that he just stands in a studio and speak. Any job, and this is what I don't like with persons, like each person knows their limits and their strengths basically. And if this is his job, and he has 3 kids, because as far as I'm concerned, Jasmine doesn't have any kid. He has 3 kids under 3, and then he's this job where it's not like a 5 minute, 15 minutes. He's just standing and talking, and oh my god, he's so tired. He is standing for hours doing this thing, and for you to make it seem as if like his job is like some mediocre job, and what is he has to be tired about that made no he has 3 kids. So tying that with traveling from where they were to go back to this job for how many hours of standing or sitting, whatever, and talking, and then to travel back over. What is it if he's tired? Why is that so hard to believe? Why is that such a big deal? I don't understand. I don't get it. And for you to make it seem as if like his job is so nonchalant, you're losing me in this episode. I don't know if you're going to win me back in the rest of the season, but you're losing me in this episode. And I never thought that for the one dark skinned girl in the group, you would have become off so annoying where I was like, get her off my screen. Because what you were saying and your points you were trying to make did not land. Now we get to where we had the I guess Luke did some ring shopping, and I think he was with Kyle Chan and at his store, and he did some ring shopping because we all know in current day, Kristen is pregnant and she's also engaged. So I guess this is the lead up to him getting a ring for her, so he could do his proposal that he's planning to do to Kristen. Now we get to the thing that Brittany was hosting at her house when to I guess it's all about Nia to apologize for Nia. Everybody came. I'm loving that the fact that these girls are now tolerable when it comes on to Kristen. So she's not exiled from these group conversations or group scenes. Now Nia came, she hugged Brittany, she sat down. The conversation started, initiated by Brittany, by apologizing to Nia about how she handled her behavior in Santa Barbara, and she realized that she was a drunken mess. And she doesn't necessarily want to fight with Nia. And of course, Nia starts to give a little backstory to her past and stuff. And that's when I thought that, okay, these ladies seems like they are more understanding more to Nia and they are more understanding. And again, guys, these are friends I believe prior to the show even being a thing. So it's kind of baffling to me now. It's like you guys are acting like you know nothing about Nia. She's just some random stranger that just joined the group and we need to break her. We need to get her to open up more and stuff. So I kind of didn't necessarily see the point of needing more out of Nia because if you guys are supposedly friends, you should know the type. Everybody's not the same. You will have a friend who's very outspoken, a friend who keeps everything to their chest. You have a friend who only unleashes when they're going through turmoil. And then you will just have someone who pretty much everything for them is perfect. Like it's not until everything crumbles down, then that's when you find out that it wasn't such a perfect household. So I can understand for these guys to be friends or in a group for so long prior to the show you did not know, okay, maybe Nia is just that friend who tends to keep everything perfect on the surface. She doesn't necessarily lays out her dirty laundry. But at the end of the day, she came on first season by talking about her postpartum. So is it that you guys didn't want to hear that you guys like the toxic mess of it all by talking about alcohol use and needing help? And I don't know. So we got where after the apology, and again, Jasmine chimed in and she made her apology. Again, she brought up the same thing again with the whole girlfriend being touched, whatever. And then we got Miss Janet going back to her true form because I knew it wouldn't last her long to keep up this angel arc that she was trying to put on. And she stepped right into that role again and she decided to spin a story or create some drama by then saying to Nia that she doesn't want her to feel like she cannot speak to the group. And if she, because she has dealt with an ex who had drug and alcohol use. And this is where I was like, oh my God, Janet, I wasn't holding my breath long enough because I knew it was coming. But I was like, Janet, you just can't help yourself. You have to find a way to make it so dark for no reason. Like we just had Brittany and Jasmine apologizing. You could just keep mute over there because, from my knowledge, you didn't really do much at Santa Barbara for you to be apologizing. So I don't see why you felt like you needed to chime in, and your way of chiming in made things worse because now you left Nia leaving thinking that you are now adding things basically to make it seem now like Danny is allegedly an alcoholic. But then when you're called out about it, it's like you're trying to pretend like that's not your reasoning behind it when you know what you were doing. And this is where again Janet loses me and I just cannot stand the sights and the actions and everything Janet involved. I cannot stand her, and it's just, well, you're no longer pregnant anymore. So we see where next week's episode is going, where allegedly your husband, when he goes out, he doesn't tend to wear his wedding ring, and you called for it because you were such on a good run this season where you're trying to clean up your image to come off like some nice person, and you just in the split of couple seconds you just went back to your true form, and I'm loving that because I wasn't buying all of this pretend like I'm so remorseful and everything. But that was the episode, guys. Let me know what your thoughts were on the episode. I think this episode to me just felt like an remorseful apology tour, but at the same time, the minute Nia left, they went back to the same thing by talking behind her back. I'm glad that Kristen has her back and Kristen actually stood up for her even when she left. But it's just to show you that these girls are not your friends because they are apologizing for something, and then the minute you left, they're doing the same exact thing that they are apologizing for. It just does not make any sense. But let me know, guys, what you thought on the episode. Remember to like, subscribe, and also comment. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.